Hello and welcome to the Album Man, and today I'm going to be doing weekly rock news for the 26th of May 2013. So there wasn't one last week because, well, there wasn't that much news, and this week there isn't that much, but there's, enough to, do a whole weekly rock news. So we're going to start where we always seem to end up starting, which is with the very sad news. And god damn, was this week a really sad news in rock. Two great men died, unfortunately. So we'll talk about firstly Trevor Bolder, who sadly died at only 62. And if you don't know who he is, well, he was Bowie's guitarist in the classic Bowie Spiders from Mars lineup, played on The Rise and Fall of Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars, on Aladdin Sane, on Hunky Dory. I mean, that's pretty much enough said, but then he also played for Uriah Heep as well, and was looking forward to playing with them at Download, but obviously isn't going to now. So yeah, really talented bassist. So sad that that he died, and so young as well. And then the other one, another true legend, the Doors keyboardist Ray Manzarek died at the age of 74. And 74, that isn't too bad. That's pretty decent, but still, very sad. He founded the band with Jim Morrison, Bobby Krieger, and John Dinsmore in 1964. And yeah, after suffering from cancer for, it seems, quite a while, he's now died, which is a shame. I mean, the Doors, such a classic band, and I always thought when I listened to the Doors, I always thought that the two people really stood out for me. Obviously Jim Morrison, it goes out bloody saying, his lyrics, his voice, fantastic. And then Ray Manzarek. I just thought the keyboards on the songs are just so bloody brilliant on things, even just things like, Light My Fire, and, just even the classic songs, Break On Through to the Other Side. I love the keyboards, just so much. I was listening to some, Doors, just a best of the Doors, after I heard about the news, and just his keyboard is just ferociously good, and I've loved it for, quite a long time, ever since I first heard the Doors about maybe only 6 months ago or so, not that long ago. But yeah, very sad, amazingly talented keyboardist. I always thought the rest of the Doors, Bobby Krieger, the guitarist, drummer as well, they were okay, but always for me the keyboardist and Jim Morrison. Okay, let's move on to some less depressing news. So this is just a very little piece of news that Status Quo have named Leon Cave as their new drummer, as Matt Letley has decided to drop out after being their drummer for about 13 years. So yeah, I mean, if anyone really cares about that lineup of Quo, I sort of do, but I don't really know. I obviously prefer the Frantic Four, that's what all the classic albums were. And I will be reviewing Bullet Quo, hopefully the movie as well, but definitely the album when that comes out later in June. In June, I think that comes out. Yes, maybe, I don't know, maybe say, I don't know, 12th or something. Who knows? I honestly don't. But I will be reviewing it, even though the single, no, I was not a fan of the single, Bullet Quo. It had this weird Hawaiian vibe to it. Very weird song. Didn't particularly like it. Okay, and now we have just a little thing that The Answer, who are a fantastic blues rock band. If you don't know them, definitely check out the album Everyday Demons. Just a fantastic album, not to be missed. And they're going to be releasing their fourth album, New Horizon, on September the 30th, my birthday. And they're also touring the UK and Ireland in October, so playing like Manchester, Leeds, Sheffield, Glasgow, London, Bristol, all of those. So yeah, if you're an Answer fan, new tour, new album, really looking forward to the new album. Only found out about it actually today, when I was just flicking through some news, so that's really cool. Been looking forward to a new Answer album. Okay, and the not really biggest news, but news that I don't even know why I carry on going on about this band, because every time I go on about it, it's negative. And you know what? It's going to be, well, I suppose one time, but it's going to be negative again. Stone Temple Pilots. I think my opinion on this band is probably quite famous by now, that I hate them. I loathe Scott Weiland with a passion, and was very glad when he left. I thought maybe, well, not left, when he was sacked. I thought, yeah, maybe they could do better. I hated him in Velvet Revolver, and luckily Slashers doesn't have no interest in performing Velvet Revolver, which is great because that band was shocking. But now, oh god, you would have thought Stone Temple Pilots would have been able to, you know, have a fresh start, maybe do something remotely decent, but no. Oh god, no. They've got a vocalist that is possibly the equal, if not worse, than Scott Weiland. Yes, if not worse than Scott Weiland. I didn't think I'd be saying this. They've got Chester Bennington. And if you were fortunate enough to not know who Chester Bennington is, he's the lead singer of Linkin Park, if you can even call him a singer. I hate Linkin Park with a passion. They're up there with Limp Bizkit in my most hated bands of all time. Not quite as bad as Limp Bizkit, because Limp Bizkit, god damn, they didn't even have one good song. Linkin Park have a couple of very tolerable songs, but that's it. Maybe one tolerable song, that one that was on Guitar Hero, that's tolerable. The rest of the stuff, oh my god. I hate Chester Bennington. I hate his vocals with a searing passion. I hate his music. I hate him, really. He just annoys me, quite frankly. He's possibly even worse than Scott Weiland. So, well done, Stone Temple Pilots. You've got someone even crappier. God almighty, why do I still talk about this band? Anyway, let's move on to albums I've been listening to over the past couple of weeks. So, some old, some new, well no, none new, but some that I haven't particularly talked about on this channel before, some that I have. So let's get on with the ones that I have particularly talked about. So, a couple of weeks ago, it was, of course, the anniversary of Dio, 3 years ago since he died. God, doesn't not seem like that long ago, but yeah, apparently, it's 3 years ago, so put on some Holy Diver. Usually ends up listening to some Heaven and Hell Mob Rules to commemorate him, or some Rainbow. But Holy Diver, one of my favourite Dio albums, just another of my favourite albums, an absolute classic from end to end, just what more can be said. Apparently it's the 30th anniversary of it the other day, so it was actually very appropriate, without me even knowing. One of my albums of the year of last year, my second favourite album of last year, to Anathema's Weather Systems, Rush's Clockwork Angels, and I gave this album a perfect 10 out of 10. I mean, just both that and Anathema's were just phenomenal. Barely anything to split between them, really. But yeah, I still feel the same way about this album, to be honest. My opinion hasn't changed at all since doing my review of it, which you should check out if you haven't. Yeah, it's just unbelievable masterpiece, and still, in my opinion, Rush's best album. You know, I've been listening to a lot more Rush since I reviewed it, and still, I think as an album, it's the best. Though 2112 may have the best song, and, you know, Farewell to Kings obviously is fantastic, and Moving Pictures, but just as an album, I honestly still do think that's the best. Choir Boys, after seeing them support Saxon, I decided to dig out a bit of what you fancy for some late 80s, early 90s sort of glam metal rock, whatever you want to call it. And this is just such a bloody great album. From the opening track, even 7 o'clock, to let's see, There She Goes Again, Misled, and the epic ballads I Don't Love You Anymore, and the very weirdly lyric Sex Party, which it really is as described. But, you know, this is just one of those classic sort of hidden rock gems that, even though it sold and did quite well at the time, not many people really talk about the Choir Boys anymore. And they have a new album, Beautiful Chaos, coming out in June, late in June, and yeah, we're going to be definitely reviewing that. Looking forward to that. Yeah, classic album. Definitely pick it up if you haven't already. Okay, Dream Theater Train of Thought. Now, I decided to listen to this again because I saw Midnight Strike 3625, I think that's it. His review on this album. Do check him out and check out his review if you haven't already. There might be a link in the description if I remember. But yeah, he reviewed this album, and I've always, I mean, I'm a big Dream Theater fan. Dream Theater are one of my absolute favourite bands, but I always thought this is one of their weaker albums, really. I thought it was a bit too heavy for them, and it just didn't work. But Midnight Strike certainly gave it a very positive review, so I decided to dig it out, check it out again, and bloody hell was I wrong. Oh my god, this album is amazing. This is one of their best. I mean, it's not quite Metropolis Part 2, that's just, you know, unparalleled nearly. One of my favourite metal albums of all time, and well, no, not I don't know, it's one of my favourite prog albums as well. But, yeah, songs like As I Am, Honour Thy Father, which, bloody hell, is that spiteful song from Mike Portnoy. The lyrics are written by Portnoy on that song. And God almighty is that spiteful towards, I think it's his stepfather. Bloody hell, that's one nasty song, damn good. And of course the end track, In the Name of God. It's just 8 songs, there's some really epic 11-minute songs, which is quite short for Dream Theater really, considering 6 Degrees of Inner Turbulence, which is like 42 minutes. Or my favourite, there's Change of Seasons, which is like 24 minutes. But yeah, this is just a fantastic, fantastic album. I love this a lot. So yeah, but don't know why I looked over it really. Okay, a band I always think should get some attention, and we'll review this album eventually. Saint Bloody Jude with Diary of a Soul Fiend. This is just one of my favourite summer albums. I just love listening to this in the summer. I just think it's a very summery album. Very, very catchy. Songs like, oh god, let me have a look, can't remember now. Yeah, this is, if you're wondering why the box is like this, it's because this came from Classic Rock and I just stuck it inside of a jewel case because kept losing it. But it's only a very short album, but songs like Soul on Fire, Down This Road, and Garden of Eden, it's just, it's a bit like sort of The Faces, but with a female singer. I mean, she sounds goddamn like Rod Stewart, but yeah, it sounds like she's sort of like 60 and smoked all her life. I mean, she has a really gruff voice, but damn is it good. She can sing. I think it's like sang, I don't know, I can't even remember now. Oh god, what's it? I don't know. But yeah, great album, definitely recommend it. Yeah. And of course, because of Trevor Bolder, I put on some Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars. I mean, what more to say? It's one of my favourite albums of all time. It's an all-time classic. And lastly, but by no means least, decided to pay this a little revisit, White Stripes Elephant. Haven't listened to this for a while. Really like this album. I do, think it's one of the classic albums from the last decade. I don't quite rate it as highly as some people, but I definitely think it's an amazing album for things like Cross Seven Nation Army, which damn everyone knows by now, Ball and Biscuit, Hardest Button to Button. Love just the title of that and the song itself as well. Just a really, really strong album. Not many particularly weak tracks. The only problem I had is this copy. I mean, I bought it for like 50p at a car boot, but some of the songs skipped, like Hypnotised in the Air Near My Fingers I didn't get to listen to, which was damn disappointing. So I've tried cleaning it, so I'm gonna have to get a new copy of this album, which is a pain. But so yeah, that's not good. I don't know. I know they did a remaster on vinyl, but I don't know. Is there a remaster of this coming out on CD? Because that'd be cool. Even though it sounds pretty decent, I'd get a remaster if it came out. Okay, yes, this has probably been quite long. I don't know, to be honest. So this has been the Album Man. Thanks for watching. Can't wait to subscribe, and as usual, long live rock and roll.